You sent me on this rabbit hole last night with
Oh yeah,
Peter Zahan. He's like a what do you call him, geopolitical analyst,
yeah, yeah.
and so I learned why China has less than 10 years left as a civilization last night
Right.
on Rogan's show.
Yeah,
But it was good. It was
and it's well thought out and well played, except how many fucking fistfights has that guy been in?
well because today in the competition for ideas you have it. But listen, he's very. This isn't just like news bite spewing. I think the clip I saw was about 40 minutes on Rogan. Then there was another one that I watched him on. It was an hour and 9 minutes. So these are very in-depth discussions. If you're used
Unbelievable.
to the very cursory kind of delivery, snippet delivery on the cable news channels, this isn't for you. But what I do enjoy about it, and I like listening to Rogan anyway, but it's a real discussion. It's real talk, and this dude, this Zahan guy, he must be impossible to live with, just with all the fucking data that he's got and all the. He was in the China. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but in the China episode, he starts with Rogan just asked a simple question. He goes, "When you say they got less than 10 years, what are you talking about?" And that's it. He's off to the fucking races, and it
yeah.
starts with the ageism and like the you know how we had the baby boomer, I won't call it a crisis, but the baby boomer spike here and the taxing of the system.
But it was a crisis because we didn't have the infrastructure, we didn't have the school systems, we didn't have the hospitals, we didn't have housing. I mean, it was, everybody came home and and I made reference to this, is our population increased by a third.
Right.
That's huge.
And China was I think he said 1 decade behind on that, and they're hitting it now. And so the weight's going to fall on all, and there's not enough young people in the workforce. By the way, he said they overcounted their population by like 100 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So all of their statistics, and they did the one child thing for a long time. They don't have enough people to support.
Do you remember
what it's going to cost
there for a while
that
there were several different specials that they showed these gigantic, the size of Seattle cities that they had built that not a human being lived in, malls with fake Nike signs. And it was, and what I took from that was, because you can't have investments in China, you can invest in real estate. You can invest in, the mother country. So, and lately I've been watching on Instagram, and it looks like fucking somebody decided to like restart Vegas. I mean, it's fucking imploded building after imploded building, and it's like a block of 10 go, then another. So, and no matter how you look at it, there was absolutely economic growth due to that construction.
Mm-hmm.
So if that, now that's gone. So I mean, they're
for a stretch. It was one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, and I don't know the plateau. I don't know county wise kind of a weird layout there, right? Because you've got the insular city, but then it just kind of the rings started expanding out around it. And it was massive. I mean, the spread was massive over the last 20 years. And so you're saying because of the slowdown in physical growth.
Yeah, because
it's taxing the workforce.
They've got if you look at the statistics, it's 1.2 male to every 1 female, which doesn't really do well for population.
Oh, you're in China.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing too, and he was talking about this with the one child law.
I'm talking about these, Sean. These cities are everywhere in China, and I'm saying they're the size of Seattle, and there's nobody that's ever lived in them, and they just imploded like a bunch of them in the last 2 or 3 years. It's
Right.
unbelievable, and I'm just like, how do you fucking fudge that in your books, unless you're
Well, it was like he said. They there you go.
There's the one guy that lives there. They call him the Omega Man, Charlton Heston. Fucking Charlton Heston.
I thought you were talking about Vegas proper, which is a different story.
No.
The growth
It's just unbelievable. And you look at these things, and you say like,
How do you miscount your population by 100 million people? Was it falsified data to?
at 100 million, come on.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean,
and then the male to female ratio.
Me personally, I just want 11,383 votes. That's all I'm looking for.
Just looking for. I'm looking for.
I'm not looking for 100 million. I'm looking for 11,000 and change.
Go find them.
So that's just me.